worse, of course. Look at this. This is an editorial published by Bloomberg. That's the media company named after Mike Bloomberg that has so enriched him. It's what gave him the money to chase women all over Manhattan and to run for president in a vanity campaign. Here's what Michael Bloomberg's news company published about how to deal with inflation, which is eroding your paycheck. Prices are skyrocketing for everything: gasoline, food, cars, houses, pretty much anything. Here's Mini Mike's advice to you. Inflation stings most if you earn less than $300,000. Here's how to deal. Take the bus. Don't buy in bulk. Try lentils instead of meat. Nobody said this would be fun. Hey guys, if you're one of the poors earning less than $300,000, that's US dollars. So it's just a shade under 400 grand Canadian. If you're one of the poors, here's some friendly advice from Mike Bloomberg. Net worth $82 billion. So let's take that advice line by line. Take the bus. I love it. Now, there are some places where you can actually take a bus, but do you think Mike Bloomberg has ever taken a bus in his life? Take the bus. So double your time in traffic wherever you're going in your life. In no situation is taking a bus ever faster than taking a car. We'd probably add an hour to the day of an average person, but how do you take the bus when, I don't know, you're carpooling with your kids to the hockey arena with your big hockey bags? How do you take the bus when you're going shopping for groceries at Costco, or, you know, people in country places where they don't have public transport, or, you know, truck drivers who bring us all of our stuff like our food, or, I don't know, farmers whose tractors and combines really can't be replaced with the bus. But thanks. But I want you to know and to really understand in your bones that they want inflation, that they want prices to go higher, that they want prices to be so high you become poor, especially energy poor, because they say that. That's their whole rationale for carbon taxes, or as they call it, pricing carbon. It's to make energy painful to use. That feeling you get at the gas pump, that feeling of dread, of how can I make ends meet, that's what they want. It's social engineering. Here's how the Globe and Mail put it. Stéphane Dion called it the green shift when he ran on it in 2008. He was a klutz, and Harper devoured him, but now it's the law. Who had the last laugh there? Here's Trudeau, just a few months ago, saying he wants to reduce the amount of oil and gas, make it scarce, make it more expensive. This is Stéphane Dion with a better haircut.
We're going to keep moving forward at home. On emissions, we've committed to put a cap and begin to cut emissions from oil and gas production. We're the first major oil and gas producing nation to do that. We committed to reduce methane emissions by at least 30% by 2030, and in particular, reduce oil and gas methane emissions by 75% by 2030. On electricity, we've committed to phasing out coal-fired electricity by 2030. We're going to ensure that all new vehicle sales are zero-emission vehicles and that we have a net zero grid by 2035. This is something we've said a number of times, and people have remarked upon here at COP, that we're not just saying we need to move forward as a world, we ought to do things. Canada is showing that we are doing things. We're making big decisions at home and encouraging people around the world to do more as well.
All right, I'm going to stop that there, but he's saying he wants to eliminate oil and gas, or at least Canadian oil and gas, and he wants to let the world's demand for oil and gas be met by OPEC and Russia. Well, we see how that works with Russia. They're using their near monopoly of oil and gas in Europe to take Europe hostage. How could Germany possibly take a tough stand against Russia when it imports about 40% of its energy from Gazprom, the Russian company? Germany cannot put sanctions on Russia. Frankly, it better be careful that Russia doesn't put sanctions on Germany. Imagine if Putin cut off German gas with the flip of a switch. That's where Canada could come in as a purveyor of ethical oil and gas. Germany raised that in a face-to-face meeting with Trudeau the other day. Did you know that? But Trudeau turned them down. That's an excerpt from my daily show, The Ezra Levant Show. Every day I do a monologue on the news of the day, then I interview an interesting guest, and then I read my hate mail. You gotta subscribe. Go to rebelnews.com.